Looking at Earth. The Sun is at the center of our solar system. Earth and other planets orbit, or move around, the Sun. Heat and light from the Sun make life on Earth possible. Earth spins on its axis. The axis is an imaginary line that runs through Earth's center from the North Pole to the South Pole. Earth spins once around its axis every 24 hours. This is called one rotation. This rotation puts some areas of Earth in sunlight and some in darkness. These periods are day and night. Earth makes one complete trip around the Sun each year. This is called one revolution. A complete revolution takes 365¼ days. Most calendar years are 365 days, but one day is added to the end of February every fourth year. This extra day is called a leap day, and these years are called leap years. Earth is made of 3 layers. The center of Earth is called the core. The core actually has 2 parts, a solid inner core and a liquid metal outer core. The mantle is the middle layer. The mantle is made up of hot rock that is about 1,800 miles thick. The outer layer of Earth is called the crust. This is a rocky shell around the surface of Earth. It is from 2 to 75 miles thick. The hydrosphere contains all of Earth's water. About 70% of Earth's surface is covered in water. This water is in oceans, seas, lakes, ponds, rivers, groundwater, and ice. The lithosphere is Earth's land. The land includes mountains, hills, plateaus, plains, and the land beneath the ocean. The atmosphere is the layer of gases that surrounds Earth. Most of Earth's atmosphere is contained within 16 miles of Earth's surface. Outer space begins 100 miles above the surface of Earth. The biosphere includes all living things on Earth or in the atmosphere. Animals, plants, and people are part of the biosphere. There are 4 different subsystems that we have discussed. The hydrosphere, which is Earth's water. The lithosphere, which is Earth's land. The atmosphere, which is the gases that surround Earth. Finally, we have the biosphere, which is all living things on Earth. Seasons. Earth is tilted. Because of the tilt, not all places on Earth receive the same amount of direct sunlight at the same time. About half of Earth is tilted toward the Sun and half is tilted away from the Sun at any time. Because of this, when it is winter in the northern hemispheres, it is summer in the southern hemisphere. The North Pole is tilted furthest toward the Sun on about June 21st. In the northern hemisphere, this is called the summer solstice, or the beginning of summer. The northern hemisphere receives the most direct rays of the Sun at this time of year and has the most hours of daylight each day. The North Pole is tilted furthest away from the Sun on about December 22nd. In the northern hemisphere, this is the winter solstice, the day on which winter begins. The Sun's rays reach their southernmost point on this day. The southern hemisphere experiences summer and long hours of daylight at this time. The fall equinox is about September 23rd and the spring equinox is about March 21st. On an equinox, the Sun's rays are directly overhead at the equator. Day and night in both hemispheres are about 12 hours long everywhere on Earth on an equinox. Factors that influence climate. Near the equator, the Sun's rays are nearly directly overhead throughout the year. This area is known as the tropics. As a result, the climate in the tropics is hot and sunny. The Sun's rays hit at a slant north and south of the tropics. The North and South Poles get no sunlight at all during certain months. These regions are cold throughout the year. Elevation, or a place's distance above sea level, also influences climate. The air thins as altitude increases. Thinner air holds less heat. Wind and water currents help circulate the Sun's heat around the globe. Warm air rises. Cooler air rushes in under the warm air, causing wind. In the oceans, warm water moves away from the equator while cold water flows toward it from the poles. Weather and climate are different. Weather is the state of the atmosphere at any given time. It is easy to tell the weather by looking out the window or reading a thermometer. Climate is the average weather conditions in an area over a longer period. Average daily temperature is one measure used to compare climates. It is the average of the highest and lowest temperature in an area during a 24-hour period. Climate also includes rainfall or snowfall that occurs year after year. Any water that falls on Earth is called precipitation. It includes rainfall, snowfall, hail, sleet, and mist. Measuring the amount of precipitation an area receives in a season or a year provides information about the area's climate. Landforms like mountains also affect climate. Wind blows inland from oceans. As the air rises over mountains, it cools and moisture condenses. This causes rain to fall on the side of the mountain facing the ocean. The other side of the mountain is in a rain shadow, where much less precipitation falls. Different types of climate zones. Earth is divided into 6 climate zones. These zones are classified by temperature, amount of precipitation, and the distance from the equator. These 6 climate zones are as follows. Tropical, which is hot and rainy and typically has dense forests. Desert, which is dry and can either be hot or cold. Humid temperate, which has changing seasons and varying types of weather. Cold temperate, which is generally cold with a short summer. Polar, which is very cold and covered in snow and ice. High mountain, which has variable conditions at the top of high mountain ranges. Each climate zone has different kinds of animal and plant life. These animals and plants are adapted to do well within that climate. A biome is a type of large ecosystem with similar life forms and climates. Earth has several biomes: rainforest, desert, grassland, and tundra. Many scientists say that climates are changing around the world. Global warming is an increase in the average temperature of Earth's atmosphere. Many scientists say a buildup of pollution in the air is contributing to the rising temperature. If the temperature keeps rising, climates around the world will change. Plant and animal species will have difficulty adapting to these changes.